Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Rogue Tactical Cosplay. Today, after 3 years of tedious sourcing and gathering, we are finally proud to present a good cosplay guide to cosplay Blue Umbrella from Resident Evil 7. So in case I need to jog your memory, who are Blue Umbrella? Who is Blue Umbrella? What is Blue Umbrella? They're basically the Umbrella Corporation rebranded as a good guy corporation, quote, quote. And you will actually see these goons a lot at the end of Resident Evil 7. Spoiler alert in case you haven't played it, but it's been like 10 years, so if you haven't played it, then it's really on you. It's an amazing game. These goons, they show up at the end of the game, and you'll actually see Chris Redfield wearing this Blue Umbrella gear. And you'll also see a bunch of other Blue Umbrella operatives in the Jack Baker DLC, but they only show up for like 5 minutes. And they show up a lot in the Chris Redfield DLC, not a Hero DLC. And that's where I got the inspiration to compile a cosplay guide for this. So let's start from the head to toe. So Blue Umbrella issues out Team Wendy Exfil bump helmets. It's the Exfil version, which you can see from these vent holes. Now it's a bump helmet, which means it's not ballistic. And it's very evident because you can tell from the NVG mount. You can tell that the NVG mount is molded directly into the plastic. That's what makes it a bump helmet compared to the ballistic variant, which the NVG shroud is bolted into the helmet by 2 screws over here. So the original helmet is by Team Wendy, but Team Wendy doesn't make this headset in the color that Blue Umbrella uses. And the only company that I know that makes a helmet that looks similar to what Blue Umbrella wears in-game is FMA. So if you're, so I really recommend getting the FMA bump helmet. Make sure to get the correct NVG mount where it's not bolted with 2 screws, and make sure to get the one in the gray variant. Now I've scrutinized every footage of Blue Umbrella from the Resident Evil 7 games, and I've concluded the color of helmet that they use is gray. It's not green because there is a canister, a gas mask canister, right next to the helmet, and that's green, and the helmet looks significantly different than the gas mask filter. So that's how I was able to come to the conclusion that the helmet is gray. So you'll notice that, or initially, I've actually done a paint job on this helmet. Originally, the NVG shroud of this helmet was actually in gray, the same color as the rest of the helmet. So what I did was I just grabbed some masking tape, put it over here, here, down here, and up here, a little bit to the top here. And what this does is it recreates a close enough NVG shroud to what Blue Umbrella has in game. Because you'll notice that the NVG shroud of the helmet that they have in game, it's an original idea. There are no NVG mounts that look like that. And I'll pull up a comparison picture right next up. And yeah, you can see for yourself. So next thing is the headset. So in game, they probably had like a Comtac 2 or a Comtac 3. You could also get Peltor Comtac XPIs. But the problem with Peltors is that Peltors don't actually make the correct color to what Blue Umbrella uses in game. So the headset and the helmet is the same color in game, and like I've said before, it's gray. So the only Comtac maker that I know that makes headsets in gray would be TechSky. So this isn't a genuine Peltor Comtac. I actually do have a pair of genuine Peltor Comtacs in OD green. And as you can see, it really, the color, there's really a high contrast in color. So that's why I really recommend just getting the TechSky gray Comtacs. So next up is the headset mount. So the mount that you're going to want to get to cosplay Blue Umbrella. I'm just scrutinizing every little detail that I've noticed in game. And the headset mounting point should be the top of this rail. So this is a clone of a Team Wendy 2.0 rail, and the headset is supposed to mount up here if you were to compare it in game with what Blue Umbrella uses. So this mounting system actually kind of sucks because it's so up high and that the headset won't really go any deeper. This headset doesn't actually seal with your ears properly, so I can't even take this out to the range to shoot. And yeah, I really don't like this setup. And you'll notice that in game, the headset cables is supposed to go in through this hole and then come out through this hole. That is also impossible to do unless you're willing to cut the wires and then just put it inside. And aside from that, on the top of the helmet is a clone of an S&S Precision Manta strobe ray. And the thing about this is that the real ones are very expensive, so I just got an airsoft one. This is also by FMA, I believe. Now, because I love scrutinizing every little detail, this part right here, there's supposed to be a Picatinny rail that attaches here. I actually did get one from FMA, but it didn't fit. So right now it's empty, but I will go back to add it in the future. So for the padding system, I suggest you get the fake Team Wendy cam fit retention. This is a fake one, and then the Team Wendy inner pads. These are the most comfortable pads that you can get for this FMA helmet. The gas mask. So what Blue Umbrella uses is called the MSA Millennium gas mask, and the only notable things that you really need to get is the this cover right here. So we actually decided to make our own. And all you have to do is just screw out the initial metal ring and then just screw this in. And the same can also be set with this side. I'm not sure what this is for, but it's just, we're just copying them. All right, and next up is the filter that Blue Umbrella uses. It's called the C2A1 filter. Make sure to get one in green. So you can get these easily on eBay. And when you get one of these, just ask the seller, hey, do you know what color this is? And okay, it's actually kind of there. So it's supposed to attach through here. This would be what Blue Umbrella uses in game. So it's actually quite simple. All right, so the uniform that's issued to Blue Umbrella is in the camouflage called multi-cam black. So because it's a much more modern setting, we can assume that they're using the combat shirt. Now in game, you can tell the combat shirt is the G2 or the AC cut from Cry Precision, AC being Army cut. Now from what I know, Cry Precision doesn't make the G2 or AC cuts in multi-cam black, and because the G2s and the AC cuts are not discontinued, you can't actually order them from Cry Precision, even if you were to email them. So the next best thing that I got was this combat shirt from TrueSpec. This combat shirt is actually pretty solid. I actually quite like it. Now for the pants, it's actually quite hard to tell if it's a pair of field pant or a combat pant, because all of the distinct features of the that could tell you whether it's this field or combat pant is covered up by the warbelt and the knee pads. So this pair of pants is also from TrueSpec. So one thing to note when you're buying camo is that to make sure that the camo you're buying is actually legit and genuine. What I mean is that multi-cam black is trademarked and copyrighted by Cry Precision. So if you were to buy an unlicensed or non-trademarked multi-cam black, a piece of other gear, it actually might not line up perfectly, and it'll actually look very, very different. It won't line up perfectly. Okay, so next up is the inner body armor that Blue Umbrella uses. So in game, they use what in the real world what we call the Eagle low vis body armor. It's a very old school body armor, and it looks like this. So from what I know, Eagle Industries actually didn't make any low vis body armors in multi-cam black. So we actually do have a real Eagle Industries low vis body armor in our storage, and that's what we base it off on in order to make this body armor. And this right here is an example of not so genuine multi-cam black. We'll show you at the end how it contrasts and how it doesn't look similar, but for now, this is the body armor. The body armor cut itself is very accurate. Inside, they utilize what's called a balks. I believe that's how you pronounce it, BALCS, cut Kevlar. But on this one, we just have foam, regular foam instead. So in the inside, this part right here is an opening where you can insert the foam. We actually have foam cut for in the box in the box cut, and this is what we inserted into this vest in order to give it its shape. Okay, so next up is the chest rig that Brew Umbrella uses. So this chest rig right here, we scrutinize every little detail of the chest rig that they used, from footage, from the camera model, from the in-game models, and this is what we came up with. So right here is these are dummy grenades. This is a dummy grenade, dummy smoke grenade. This radio right here is also dummy. So to the CID agent watching this, please don't arrest me. This is just a dummy. It's not real. And on the top here is the pouch made by Tactical Tailor. It's called the Tactical Tailor Low Vis Mag pouch, I believe. And I believe that they have already discontinued this product. So what we can do is we can actually make this and sell this too. And yep, in case you don't know, most of everything we've shown you, we can either tell you where to buy, or we actually do make and sell them. So this is inserted via Velcro, just inserted at this angle right here and there. So this uses a H harness, I believe that's what it's called, and it's actually quite comfortable to wear without the body armor. With the body armor, it's kind of thick, so you know. So a way to actually attach the grenades to this chest rig is actually to just grab the handle and place them in the Molle webbing. I don't really recommend this, especially when you're running. So my next best solution was to grab some Ranger bands and then to just tie them up into the Molle webbing. And it's actually quite secure, so it's not a bad idea. So on the chest rig, you'll see that there are actually 4 colors of chem lights that's supposed to attach onto the chest rig. I actually did have like these 4 chem light colors, but the chem light itself, they don't really look accurate to what Brew Umbrella was using in game, which is why I actually took it off. But but these chem lights, these tactical chem lights, the most popular ones that you can get are called the Sialumes chem lights. So just grab, I believe it's red, blue, yellow, and green, if I'm not mistaken. All right, it's been a while. So just place it and onto these elastic webbings here, and then that's how you get the very accurate look. The radio pouch that Brew Umbrella uses is very old school. I would say it's very similar to the Cry radio pouch, but lucky for you, we also make this radio pouch for you. It's for the PRC 152. Now, the real radio is called the L3 Harris PRC 152 radio, but this is just a dummy, as I've shown you before. Okay, so next up is the belt system that Brew Umbrella is issued. So what they use, so it's a warbelt system, a padded warbelt system, and it's a Tactical Tailor warbelt. You can actually get this directly from Tactical Tailor, but as of November of 2025, Tactical Tailor is still fulfilling a very large order for the US military. So right now, they're not producing any of these warbelts, but in the event that by the time you're watching this, and Tactical Tailor has already finished that military contract, and that they're already reproducing these warbelts, you can get it from them. Or if you can't wait, we actually do also produce these warbelts, and we can also you can also buy them from us. So for the duty belt, it's honestly just you can honestly use any regular duty belt. So any regular duty belt will do. So on the right side of the warbelt is a Black Hawk platform. I believe this is called the Serpa platform, and so this holster isn't actually accurate. This is my own personal holster that I use for the SIG P226 because this is my favorite pistol. So it's actually very modular. You can actually just unscrew the back of this holster platform to put whatever holster you want. So I have the P226 installed here. In game, Brew Umbrella has what I assume to be the M9 holster by Black Hawk as well, because that's what Chris uses in his DLC, Not a Hero. On the left side, so they actually went with this, so Brew Umbrella actually uses this new and unique leg panel, Molle leg panel that I've never seen before. The dimensions are very unique, but luckily I've managed to reverse engineer the leg platform that they use, and I've made my own. And we also sell this. So on top of that Molle leg panel is the Tactical Tailor medic pouch. So If I'm not mistaken, Tactical Tailor actually still makes this pouch, so you can actually just buy it directly from them. But if you want to buy it from us, then it's great. We'll be happy. So moving on to the knee pad. So what they actually issued to Brew Umbrella is called the Damascus Phantom Ops 2, but these are basically unobtainium. So I got the next best thing, which is the Ultra Superflex knee pads, and these are actually pretty great. I actually really like using these. Speaking of Damascus unobtainium gear, the next piece of gear we have is also from Damascus gear. It's called the Damascus CRT 100 Riot Gloves. So these are, you can still find these on eBay, but if I were you, I would hurry up and purchase one because I believe that their stock is running thin. These are discontinued from Damascus gear, so if I were you, I would just hurry up and get one. So because these are leather gloves, they're not really as comfortable as like mechanics when it comes to shooting. But if you want to complete the look, then this is the next best thing. You actually see this glove a lot when you play as Chris in the Not a Hero DLC, especially when you're punching BOWs. So this is actually what I would consider to be a very important part of cosplaying Brew Umbrella as well. And next up below his wall belt is the rappelling harness that Brew Umbrella uses. So there are two types of harnesses you can get to cosplay Brew Umbrella. The first and the rarest harness you can get is the Eagle Industries rappelling harness. And the other type is called the Black Hawk rappelling harness. So we actually have both of these harnesses, and we can actually make both variants. But the only difference that I've noticed between the Eagle Industries rappelling harness and the Black Hawk rappelling harness is that there is just this D-ring at the back of the harness for the Eagle Industries one, whereas the Black Hawk rappelling harness does not have this tail D-ring. And last but not least, once you put everything on, comes the very last part of gear that you'll be putting on, which is the hydration pouch. So the hydration bladder, I believe. So this hydration pouch is supposed to be from Geiger-Rig. Yep. But Geiger-Rig hydration pouches are now very hard to find, especially in the black variant that you need to cosplay Brew Umbrella. So what we did was we actually do have the original Geiger-Rig hydration pouch, and we actually just replicated it and we're selling it. Now for this cover thing, we are also planning to make and sell our own, but because they're very big, they're very big, despite them being light, they're actually very inefficient to ship. Okay, now we'll take a look at the back. So as you can see, it actually just attaches like a regular hydration bladder, like a hydration pouch. It fits almost like a backpack. So you can wear this on the back of your chest rig, and there you go, yeah. So if you can't get a hydration pouch by Geiger-Rig, I believe on Amazon there are some very similar hydration pouches. I believe, if memory serves me right, it's made by this one company called Aquamira. I've actually never tried their products before, so if you're willing to jump the gun, then I can sort of recommend Aquamira. But if you want, one that's 100% faithful and accurate to the original Geiger-Rig hydration pouches, then you can just get them from us instead. Last but not least are the socks. As usual, I can only recommend Darn Tough socks. And for the shoes, the boots, the tactical boots that Brew Umbrella uses, I don't really know because, I'm not a boots kind of guy. But to quote a very famous person in Shawshank Redemption, nobody really pays attention to a man's boot. So what I would do instead is that because I have a pair of jungle boots from cosplaying Hunk, I would actually just wear those. But because I'm also a gear guy in real life, I actually do have a pair of Solomons. And I'm thinking of getting a pair of Loas next time. And you just get them in black and boom, there you go. You can cosplay Brew Umbrella. So that's pretty much it for this video, everyone. Thank you. I hope you'll like and subscribe. We actually have more projects coming up soon. And in case you've stuck around here long enough to ask, hey, where can I actually buy all of this stuff that you've shown on this video? So we used to sell professionally on Etsy. but now due to some internal conflict, we've actually shut down our Etsy store. And in the meantime, if you really want to buy products from us, you can contact us via Instagram or Facebook. And we actually do take PayPal, yes, but we prefer PayPal friends and family. We've actually sold many times on Discord. You can actually add me on Discord as well. I'll try to put a link down or like a barcode in the video, and you can add me. But I've actually sold many times via friends and family, and no issues. So just no issues. I understand the fear of sending money via friends and family, but I really don't know how to prove to you that I will faithfully send your products.